Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland Athletics. On our previous episode, we had one of the best Oakland A's team in the history of baseball, and we got eliminated in the first round. Not ideal, to be sure. Um, excuse me. So, what are we gonna do? What are we going to do? A fun question. Who is Luis Castillo? Oh, I traded for you. Here you go. Off to AAA. Enjoy. Um, so we need to make some decisions about players, obviously, to position ourselves in a good spot. Now, I want to talk about owner goals first and foremost. This is going to be nearly impossible to accomplish. Nearly impossible. Because we constantly pick really, really high. Or I should say really, really low. Just fucking die already. That would make everyone's life so much happier. Anyway. So yeah, that's the issue that we're running into. I'm not going to be able to do that without a complete teardown, and I don't think that's a good idea. I think that's going to be hugely counterproductive, and so I'm not going to bother with that. You get pissy with me, you get pissy with me, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to reduce ticket prices by $2. With the understanding that reducing ticket prices should increase attendance, I hope, and get us over that hump. This 45,000 a game. I mean, I just won 100 plus games. I don't know what more we could do to get fans to show up, but here we are. So before we do anything else, let's talk coaching. I don't think I have any. No, I do have a vacancy. I have a vacancy at High A, and the question was, do we promote Newman? Absolutely promote Newman. Like, that's not even 1/10 of 1% delay. Like, it just really doesn't matter in the slightest. I'd love to get Graham Gonzalez or Goldman Gonzalez here. It seems pretty unlikely that he'll last, but we're gonna try it. Absolutely gonna try it. So not as many names here as I thought there would be, which is cool. I dig that. Brad Heimel, you can have a minor league cutting string. If you can pull out a WAR or more in the fucking Pacific Coast League, you deserve an opportunity. Wow, Frank Mendoza was genuinely the worst. Like, damn, son. You have no redeeming qualities whatsoever. You gave up 28 home runs in 67 innings. I think what we're looking for is shit. Very big shit. Alright. Let's make some decisions. First things first, Amari Brodin. Brodin is already 31. It is true, but he has also been very healthy. He wants a ginormous raise. So the question becomes, do we have somebody that is ready to pick up the slack? And that answer might very well be Chris Allen. I think no matter what happens this offseason, I have to open up a spot for Chris Allen to get some real consideration in the big leagues. I've got enough other interesting young pitchers that I think we can make it work even if we don't end up keeping him. So the real question is, do we keep the incredibly talented Amari Brodin, or do we keep the younger Devin Schaffner, who isn't as good, but is cheaper? and is younger. And I think we go ahead and keep Schaffner. So I think a 1-year deal of 3.1 million, 3.3 million. Look, just take your arbitration amount, you fucking jerk. There we go. And then I think we flip Broaden. And this might be the exact opportunity we're looking for to restock our farm system in a significant way. So let's give it the old college try. I'm going to try to focus on a package of prospects. And let's see what we can get. Like, surely we're going to get some interesting choices here. Alright. Eddie Williamson is a really good player in a lot of ways. This is a problem. This is a big problem. And although I love his work ethic, I like his raw power, I think there's a lot to like about Mr. Williamson here. This is a deep concern. Like, a season like this isn't good enough. I mean, the leadership he offers is worthwhile, so that's a possibility. The problem is that Merlos is deeply uninteresting, as is Camargo. So, maybe, but probably not Williamson. John Stevens is a really talented pitcher, so this is already a nice looking deal. Elon Fernandez could be an okay player, as could Jaramillo. So this is a reasonable package, but it's still not quite what I'm looking for. Chad McKay is a top-tier pitching prospect. The only weakness is this weak third pitch, but I like McKay a lot. The problem is that Arroyo doesn't move the needle at all. Like, Arroyo is deeply uninteresting. So far, McKay is my favorite player being offered. What if we start with McKay and then try to get another interesting prospect or two? I do think McKay by himself is enough to completely offset losing Broaden, but I'd love to try to get another prospect if we can manage it. I'm going to ignore all the 80s. Like, you're not even going to talk to me about, say, a Vince Perry. Not that I'm giving up something truly special, which I would be willing to, actually, for a player of his caliber. But he is injury prone, and I don't think that's very sensible. Now, Bobby Guerra, on the other hand, is somebody I'm far more interested in. And I can get Guerra if I offer you another prospect. If I offered you Padilla, you'd give me Guerra. I don't like giving up 2 pitching prospects for the sake of 1, so I'd like to try to get something else if we can. But it's already feeling like a really good deal to me. I like the idea of Steve Crawford a lot, actually. But it's probably going to break the deal again. I'm not going to give you Schaffner. But I would give you Delgado, I think, because his control isn't very good. And I think we kind of leave this deal as it is. Like, I don't really see any huge benefit to making any other moves as part of this. So we're going to do complete trade. And the fans are going to be ultra sad, I get it. But it'll be worth it in the long run. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to need to consider... Like, I'm sorry. It is entirely possible that they just got 3 starting pitchers out of this deal. But I have a wealth of pitching prospects. And I can always pick up a veteran starter if I need to. This is honestly about Guerra. Guerra is an incredibly well-rounded offensive player at a position that we can always use reinforcements at. Although maybe not so much immediately, he just gives us another quality option. Really, we're swimming in quality outfield prospects, and so we might want to make a move here too. We're a very young team in terms of position players. But Crawford, honestly, is the one I'm most excited about. Like, Crawford has a non-zero chance of instantly jumping in and breaking into the main roster. It's not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. But Crawford is a really competent player with lots of speed, and I think he'd be a fine second baseman. So, we'll figure it out, but I do think he's got an excellent... Like, he's going to get spring training reps. And if he can develop even a little bit, I think he might have a chance to make the team. Who else we got arbitration-wise? Luberta... I don't think keeping Luberta is sensible. Like, he's just another guy at this point, and while, yes, he can start if we need him to, and he's been somewhat competent at that, like, is this really the price we're paying for a swingman, essentially? Somebody who can do either thing? I do think a 1-year raise is reasonable. I'm going to tell you why here in just a second. Bear with me. Really? You're that petty? There you go. In case Allen doesn't develop, I want somebody who can potentially pick up the slack. That's why. Luis Aguilar. Mr. Aguilar here had a very fine season. And I don't currently have a better third baseman, but if we do end up promoting Crawford, we could maybe shift somebody else to third, and that might be okay. We got Mike Stevens could shift over to third. We have options, basically. But Aguilar is currently the best of my third base options, and we would be remiss to let him walk over a fairly minor raise in salary. So I will give you your $5 million, and we'll see where we get to next year. Caleb Sellers. I will be totally honest with you. If we keep him, we are probably hurting ourselves, both long-term and short-term. Because, while Caleb Sellers has certainly been a consistent producer, he's provided lots of pop. Last season was the best season he's ever had by far. And he wants $12 million. He wants Saudi essentially double. And it ain't going to get any easier than that because he has very minimal loyalty. I would happily pay him $8 or $9 million, but not 12. 12 is too much. Gavin Guidry, I am not going to keep. I have too many infielders as it is, and I think we can just non-tender him and not worry about him. I think we move on from Minor. I've got plenty of outfielders already. He's both fragile, and he's not doing the thing I expect him to do, which is draw lots of walks. He's got to be a top tier walk drawer to overcome his otherwise lack of ability to hit for average consistently. And although he's been amazing defensively, I do think moving on from minor makes some sense. So let's go ahead and offer him up. I just want one prospect for him, though, at any position whatsoever. I love the idea of getting Alexis Pinto. Let's make it happen. Ironic, we traded him to Columbus. That was a weird trade. Like, Zach Balu is just nothing. So we can get him back. That is very tempting. I'm going to keep looking, but I'm feeling that's what we're going to go for. Yeah, I'm not going to overthink it. We're going to go ahead and bring Pinto back into the fold. I wonder if we could get Pinto and Williamson, which would just be funny. Probably not, though. You're probably going to laugh your asses off at me if I even suggest it, but let's try it, right? The worst thing can do is say no. Really? What? I was joking. Yes. Cool. You both get to go on the roster, at least for now, and we'll sort it all out. Next on our agenda is Caleb Sellers. I really don't think keeping Sellers is all that smart. I truly don't. Like, Kevin Cox is maybe 80% of Caleb Sellers for, like, a fraction of the price. I just don't see why I would keep him. I don't. Especially given how good he was last season and how I just don't expect it to happen again. I know he's a local boy. Santa Maria, I don't think is very far from Oakland. I have no idea. I'm going to Google it right now. Because I don't know California geography at all, having only been there once for a week. Santa Maria to Oakland, CA. It's about 4 hours away. It looks like Santa Maria is closer to LA than it is to Oakland. So, there we go. Yeah, I think I have to trade Sellers. I want that payroll flexibility, but more importantly, I just think he's going to get vastly overpaid. And I don't want to be the person on the hook for that. So we're going to flip Mr. Sellers for a nice prospect of some variety, and then we'll call it a good offseason. Not Mike Breeze. I really don't want to bring on anybody. Actually, what about Dan Jackson here? I mean, Dan Jackson is basically Caleb Sellers, but better. But I don't know that I want to invest in a guy who my people probably wouldn't get along with. Randy Hoskins. Randy Hoskins wants a bunch of money, but I think he'd actually fit in very nicely as a first baseman. And he's a switch hitter, too. And he's a spark plug. I bet the fans would probably like him. I think we go for Hoskins, unless Makujo is pretty solid. Do we have a prankster right now? No, I don't want another outfielder. No, 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 no. You're not fooling me that easily, game. game. Let's go for Hoskins. Done. I genuinely didn't think the fans would be that bummed out about losing Sellers, but I guess I was wrong. We do need to build up fan interest somehow, so we'll probably have to make at least one reasonably splashy signing. But we have the money to do that if we so desire. Like, if we can figure out, like, one or two positions we might want an improvement at. 250. No hesitation. If we can find, something like that. I don't want Derek Curiel. I had Derek Curiel. That's why I got rid of him. I'm not hiring you as a manager. You I will offer also 250 grand too. What did I even want you to do, Manuel? I think it's offering you the rookie league pitching job. I get why you'd want to be signed as a reliever and as blah 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 blah. I'm gonna go for Miguel Montan. Like, I'm not gonna get in his way of getting like a good managing gig, especially if it doesn't want to work for me. Like a foolish fool. There we go. Fans like that. Got you. And you're all thinking about it. Amazing. We've got to sign somebody fairly popular, I think, if we're going to... If we're truly going to try to make a go of this, you got to send somebody really popular. 275. There you go. I almost out in 2.7 million, which seemed excessive. Do I? Oh, I didn't put Hoskins on the roster. There you go. I don't want Derek Curiel. Like, there's nothing about a mediocre corner outfielder when I have loads of outfielders that he provides me with any fascination in the slightest. Get fucked, nerd. Good old Bob here. Got Manager of the Year. Well done, Bob. Well done. I'm a little surprised we didn't at least get a Silver Slugger for somebody, but I'm not that surprised. I think we can work with this. Let's get some Hall of Fame voting in, shall we? Boggarts. Bregman, Clase. Lindor, Machado, McClanahan. I think all deserve some consideration. Aaron Nola can get a vote from me. Austin Riley. Trey Turner. Brandon Woodruff. I'll show some love to Brian Reynolds. I think that's reasonable. Pete Alonso and Jordan Alvarez can both get a vote for me, I suppose. I guess. And then anybody else who got at least 20% of the vote, I'll try to help out. You want Duran in, I will vote for that. But I want to try to clear up this logjam a bit. Matt Olson, fine. There you go, submit ballot done. We are a long ass way away from any Oakland Day making the Hall of Fame, I think. Oh, you would offer me... Okay, what the fuck has gone on with you jerks? Like, I have no desire for your mediocre outfielders. Please stop. Alright, what do we actually need? What position could we use a reliable player at? I could use a veteran starting pitcher. So basically, I don't want to pitch Venegas this year. I don't want him starting if we can avoid it. So we can get a veteran starting pitcher. That I think would be a lovely addition to the club. That way, Allen can get called up, and we can just let things take their course as they should. Bullpen is really good. I'm not gonna fuck with the bullpen at all. We could use, if we could get a big name first baseman that's got elite power, I'd consider that too. So let's see who actually is available. All players. I mean, Fernando Tatis playing at first base would be a cool thing, but also I don't have that kind of money. And I'm not going to pay that much money for a player who might just get hurt. Also, notice Sakaku Atsuki. I just categorically refuse. Let's start by looking at starting pitching. Really? Like, I like Omari's Nickelberry. I think he'll be a fine addition, but that's not what I was expecting. Offer contract, I want a 3-year deal with 2 team options. Because that way, if I decide you're worth keeping around, I can keep you around. If I decide you're not worth keeping around, I can cut you loose. There you go. Done. I could have brought Paul Skeens back, but not at 29 million fucking dollars. I don't know what cocaine you're on, besides all of it, but Skeens is not Hall of Fame level, which is a tragedy. When I drafted him, I genuinely thought he would be, but here we are. Wait, what the fuck? You'd be an average first baseman. I'm not going to bother with that. Like, I'm going to break the bank for any player. It's going to be Tatis. No. 3 years, 2 team options. I want this painfully obvious to you. I am only keeping you if you produce. That's it. Otherwise, I ain't keeping you. I'm primarily doing this to really drive the fan interest up. But I also don't mind at all having a really good player in the center of my lineup. Mike Corcoran isn't very interesting. I think that's good. I don't think I'm gonna mess with anything else. This is a gigantic deal and a medium-sized deal, and I'm here for it. 96 stolen bases, a lot of stolen bases. I'm not gonna lie to you. I literally do not want your mediocre first baseman. I have plans, big plans, big plans. What is it about my team that convinces you I need bad outfielders? Like, I have great outfielders. Like, seriously. I don't get it. I don't get what it is about my team that other teams look at and they're like, you know what you need? Outfielders. I don't think I do. It could have cost you so much money to win. And you might be worth it. You might be that one player I crack open the checkbook for. Oh, yeah. We did it, gamers. We did it. Nope. And then we end up getting Nickelberry, which is excellent. I will put him on the active roster. Oh, I don't have room for you. Okay. How about we take Oliver Camillo and remove him from the 38-man roster? How does that sound? I also don't want to lose Tingle for no reason, so we're also going to take Dave Allen off the roster too. And then we'll just kind of let stuff go. This could be a crazy good team this year. Make last year's team look like a bunch of punks. Is there any interest at all in Jonathan Spanos? Probably not, right? Like, I can try it, but something tells me that there's not going to be a ton of interest in him. Maybe there will be. I don't know. The thing is, I definitely don't want outfielders. I have a system that is filled to the brim with outfielders. So I don't really feel that interested. Phil here looks alright. We can try that out. That's just a little bit of money. Do we want to get involved in signing anybody to a new contract now? I mean, McDevitt is the obvious one, right? Like, McDevitt is such a good pitcher that I think if we let him walk, we would be severely hampering our team's efforts going forward. If I ask for your long-term demands... Actually, would this work for you? Oh, he wants all the money. Okay. Understandable. We're going to have to back up the Brinks truck to keep him. If that's what it is, that's what it is. I'm okay with that. But the thing is, I'm not going to keep Swanson. I don't think keeping Swanson is very smart. Aguilar seems a little extra. That doesn't help me a ton. DeWitt is honestly the guy I think that I kind of want to lock up if we can. What would that cost me? You want a lot of money, Mr. DeWitt. I'm not going to say you're not worth it, but it's an awful lot of money that'll be awfully difficult to move. I'm not even saving any money by doing this is the thing. If I'm gonna get hosed, I'd rather get hosed when you have another season or two to show that I'm not going to get that hosed. That's my thought on that matter. Neither DeWitt nor McDevitt will give me a discount. I don't think anybody else here is worthy of an extension yet. So we'll go from there. Where am I at in terms of fan interest? They're basically back where we started. But there might be trades that happen during the season that make him happier. We'll see. Oh, no. Anyway. I'm perfectly content with my existing catchers. Now, the real question is, I'm going to take the worst players on my team and kick them off the roster just so I can open up roster spots. I'm going to designate you for assignment. Jaramillo is no longer of interest to me. I'm going to quickly flip you for a pitcher. Let's try to maybe rebuild our pitching prospect pool. The movement's an issue. I don't hate Andrade, but I like Bloss a little bit better. I think he's a little more well-rounded. I know he doesn't throw super hard, but I still think he has a chance to be an interesting piece. So we're gonna make this deal. Done. There you go. Is there any other position I'd like to add at just to maybe pop the numbers a bit? I don't think that there is. I don't think that there is. Alright, Rule 5 draft time. You all cleared. Oh, I need to make room for Nickelberry, which I forgot about. Oh my god. Game. I literally just waved these guys. I have to wave them again. I guess my own fault. Like, I'm not that upset about it, but I'm still annoyed. I'm not going to get involved in the Rule 5 this year. I don't have the roster spot, so I'm just going to skip it this year. I'm not going to get involved in it. If other people want to go nuts, they can. Eddie Potter's not that good. Alright, y'all both can go to AAA. I don't need mediocre outfielders. I genuinely have no value. How much did you get? You're paying him $26 million a year. That's insane. You have literally taken leave of your senses. I will not offer any of my quality prospects for your bullshit. Oh, Max Clark got paid a lot of money. Good for them. And good for him too. I'm glad he's actually made a nice career for himself. I don't think he, by the way, is Hall of Fame worthy either. I think that's one of our biggest issues. I don't know that we have anybody that is Hall of Fame worthy. Machado, Riley, Duran, and Lindor all made it. I like Machado and Lindor going in on the same year. That makes me happy. They're both incredible players, and I think they both have an excellent chance of making the Hall of Fame in their own right. IRL. No, I don't need your mediocre catcher, please. I'll happily run it back with the guys I got now. I have 8.9 million. So if there is a tremendous prospect, he will be mine. There are 3 amazing pitchers in this free agent class. So let's take a look at them. Abraham Fontanes has amazing stuff, movement and control, 3 great pitches, durable, smart, works hard, doesn't throw super hard but is left-handed, and given his frame, I think he'll end up throwing harder. Fontanes is in the lead. Grajales is even better in a lot of ways. He's got more pitches, but he's not durable. That's an important step. And Marquise is just a little bit too dumb for me to be interested in him. Like, sure, there's no way I could get both of them, right? Like, that seems highly unlikely. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to offer them both a deal for their demand and see if that's enough to get them both. If it isn't, that's fine. I'll pick one and see where that gets us. I have no objections to this. Done. Have $600,000, my friend. Watch, you're not gonna outcompete me for one of the pitchers. I wonder if you like me so much you would take less money to sign with me. Sorry, mate, that's all I can afford to you. Ironically, I've now cost myself Grajales, which is a shame. Yeah, I'm just gonna crank it up for you. I'm not gonna dick around. We're just gonna throw the book at Fontanes and hope that he takes it. There you go. I don't want JoJo Blackman. I don't want any of your shitty outfielders. I would like there to be a sign on the Oakland A's that says, fucking stop. That's what it's going to say. Oh, Sam Blevins needs to be assigned. You can go to AAA. That's fine. I think we have to pay McDevitt. I don't think that's even remotely negotiable. We desperately need to keep him. Because if we don't, like, Mike Swanson isn't that good. DeMoya is a fine number 2. And that's about it. So I think we, genuinely speaking, have to give it the old college try. And keep him. Oh, Jonathan Genova improved. That's nice. Very nice. Mr. Grajales selected probably a max deal from him. Yeah, he got a max deal from the Pirates. It's fine. I was never going to get both of them. I might have pushed harder on Grajales, but, you know, I like crafty lefties. And his durability is what eventually sealed the deal for me. So I'm actually pretty pumped to see what he can accomplish with us. Alright, we're going to have a lot of spring training people up. So, Allen, Hunt, Guerra, Crawford. I do want to have 3 catchers in camp, so I will go ahead and add Ronnie Small. David Gallegos, not so much. And everyone else is a fair distance away from the major. I mean, I guess I could call up Spiva and let Spiva get some reps in spring training. That's not a terrible idea. Oh, I'll do it for Gallegos, too. Joey Rogers, low key, has a really good chance to be a catcher if somebody gets hurt. There's a lot to like about that. All right, team. I have a lot of second basemen. I think it's time to acknowledge that fact that I have a lot of second basemen. Yeah, like I think of all the players on the current roster that are younger and eligible for an extension soon, I think DeWitt and not Schaffner, McDevitt are the two that we have to keep because they both offer something that's nearly impossible to get on the open market, which is like you saw how awful the starting pitching market was. That was terrible. We have to absolutely be in on any of those pitchers that look even remotely interesting. Oh, I'm going to change the setting. That is it. Global settings. AI. I'm looking for the setting that determines how they actually play, how they slot minor leaguers. Here we go. Yeah, do it based on potential ratings. Because right now they're playing like guys who are 20 out of 20. And so the actual good prospects aren't getting enough playing time. But rather the prospects get the playing time. And if the minor leagues suck, the minor leagues suck. I'm not going to complain about that. So that's a change I wanted to make sure that I made. I think that'll do. Let's do some string training. Okay. Okay. Well, that's one issue. We just lost him for the season. And I think a sizable chunk of next season, because it's over a year, which means he'd be joining in around the All-Star break. And that's assuming he heals well. That's kind of a kick in the junk. I'm just going to send you to the minors. Like, I'm not going to bother fucking around with you. You're just a minor leaguer who is going to be a marginal dude anyway, so... The reason I put him on the IL would be to get a 40-man spot back, but I don't think that's, strictly speaking, required at the moment. Since I have an extra one now anyway from losing Demoya for the year. There goes McKay. You can also go to the minors. See, I don't like this. Just let me do what I fucking want, game. I'm doing it deliberately. I don't want him on the IL. No. Oh, I see the issue. What if I do this? No? Oh, yeah, I guess you don't, do you? You know what? I'm not going to keep a 34-year-old loser. Now I should be able to send McKay down without a complaint. Oh my god, game. When I put him where I tell him to put him. I really dislike this intensely that the game does this. Like, let me make my own decisions. Don't try to force me to do it. I'm going to put him on the 60-day IL. I don't want to. I don't want him on the roster, but the game is apparently not going to let me proceed without it. Like, I genuinely don't understand why you're being weird about that game. I genuinely don't. Bobby Stoll got like a tiny bit better. Nickelberry got a little better. Allen got better, which is excellent. Ronnie Small got better. Spiva and Gallegos both got better. Crawford got a little better. Estrada got better. Cabral got better. Some decent stuff happening, which is great. Which is great. My friends, let us begin the process of whittling down this roster. I presently have 39 players, 16 of whom are pitchers. We're going to get rid of 3 pitchers. First things first, you're starting Chris Allen. I did not bring him up to not be started. Chris Allen starts on the Oakland A's. Don't be fucking stupid, game. So now update your staff, and let's see who the odd man out becomes. You really want to try Venegas at starter. I'm not going to stop you, mostly because it's not worth it to me to stop you. So 3 pitchers got to go. Pinto is 1. I don't want Venegas. I'm going to trade him. Like, you keep putting him in positions where he has a big role to play, and he's just not worth it. He's not that great. I'll happily add Chris Portillo, though. I love players with that level of flexibility, so done. I don't know why the fans are, like, losing their shit over losing Venegas, but that's actually hurt the fan interest once again. I cannot keep the fans happy because I don't sign people to big deals normally. Hunt to the minors. And that brings me to 13 pitchers. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to mess around with the rest of it here. I still got to get down to 26. Means 10 position players need to go. Ronnie Small is the obvious first one. Is it Cornell or is it Cox? I think it's... I like the contact and gap power out of Cornell. Whereas Cox is more of a pure home run hitter. I think Cox will go to the minors. That's decision 1 there. I have entirely too many second basemen. Arnett, instantly gone. Like, easiest choice there. Gallegos isn't close enough to his max level. Gone. Crawford is a full season at AAA. What about Spiva? Spiva does as well. Spiva's not as good defensively, though. I'm gonna put Spiva in the minors. I'm gonna come back to this and then see what other positions I might still need. Ayala goes to the minors. Minors. But I mean, Guerra makes the team, which I'm fine with. Yeah, so Guerra makes the team. And that means 1 more infielder has to go. Hoskins only plays first and second. But then again, I have Stevens who can play all the positions quite well. You know what? I think a year of seasoning for Crawford, because he is the youngest, is reasonable. Alright. I feel reasonably good about this, about our roster here and what they might be able to accomplish together. Crawford is probably on the shortest leash of all the players, or Cornell is on the shortest leash of all the players here, just because of the kind of player he is. If he's not stealing bases and getting on base at a good clip, I don't think he'll be a successful first baseman. But we'll see what happens here. And then please reconfigure the lineup. And that's what we're looking at here. Very reasonable, very reasonable. I wonder why Mello is playing over Twist, who's actually the better player. I guess because Mello is the better, he is the better catcher. But this seems like I'm wasting Twist a little bit, to be honest with you. But we'll see what happens. We'll kind of go from there. Friends, that's going to conclude today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. And until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.